So this is the Allis-Chalmers D15 gas tractor. Dad got this tractor used when he purchased the farm from Grandpa back in the 1970s, 75 I believe it was, or 76. And that is a pull behind Bush Hog model 307, and I've got it set up high so that we're just clipping the tops of the grass. She's been overhauled probably about 1,000 hours ago. You could use a few seals on it though. I have to add fluids probably every week or so. So we got a few leaks here and there on it. But other than that, it's a pretty good old tractor. Moving on here, clipping the grass seed heads off. I've got 4 paddocks finished up. I'm on, actually this is the 3rd pasture or set of paddocks. I divide that into 3 during the summer. Decided to hold off on setting those up until I got this all clipped off. This was my late winter pasture. Probably the cows are in there, roughly 20 days maybe, 18, 20 days, something like that. I rolled out hay for them to eat. Last year it was the winter paddock. Cattle stayed in it all winter. It's pretty fertile. They ate it pretty hard there in the spring, so it's a little bit slow getting going. This paddock here that we're in, it's on the east side of the West Ridge. There's about 8 acres in here. Holding back half of it to bale hay off of, and then the rest of it is set up into paddocks. I just did that this spring. There's a total of 7 paddocks on half of it. What you see there is what we've finished up already. There was 12 acres over there. And this is kind of a shot of the hay field. As we go along, you can kind of see it. I'm actually in one of the first paddocks on the east side there. Cows have been moved. They're in some area that's been already clipped, so they kind of like that. That area right over there is pretty dense. It's pretty brushy in there. Things are going pretty good. It's a little tight quarters in the corners because of the way I laid these out. They're in kind of a pie shape, so it's hard to get the tractor turned around sometimes. There's a better shot of the cattle. You can see them there, some by the water station. And this is 12 acres that I've already clipped. This is the west side of the West Ridge. That's all subdivided into 1 acre paddocks. I've got 3 water stations in there. They'll be rotating through there during the next week or so. Eventually come into the paddock number 3. You can see there's quite a bit of grass in there. Trying to get this finished up. I've got 4 more paddocks to go after we finish up this one. They're each about 1 acre, other than the last one. The one down there by the woods. You can't see it in here, but that's a little bit more than 1 acre, and it's pretty slow going because it's pretty brushy down in there. That spot right over there is what I'm talking about. cows winter off and on in these paddocks. I fed hay in there. Now we're starting to move into the brushy. There's a lot of buckbrush in here. Grass grows good in the springtime, but the brush is so thick in there that it starves the grass in the summertime, so it thins out. I actually need to get in here with a pole saw and get some of these limbs trimmed off. I always made a point of mowing this once a year, and there was a lot of bobbing and weaving to make my way through the trees. This is the end of our hay field. It's pretty brushy down in here. I'm gonna have to work on it to try to get it cleaned up a little bit. It'd be nice to be able to just run goats in there, but they haven't been trained to one wire yet like the cows, and I don't know if you can train a goat to one wire. We make our way around here. This is the perimeter of this woolly area, I like to call it. It's got all kinds of stuff in here: weeds, grass, clover. It's got a lot of buckbrush, and especially up underneath the trees. Got a lot of down trees, limbs and things laying on the ground I have to work around. I need to get in here with the tractor and loader and push all that stuff together. Every year we mow this. It seems like that doesn't suppress that buckbrush very much. I'm gonna mix up some 2,4-D and some chaparral, some brush killer to come in here and spray this off as soon as the rains pass by. We're coming up on an area here. It's a kind of a little ravine. Water runs down through it, and it's been so wet this year that that's like a mud hole right there. I drove through it one time or twice, and I didn't think I was going to get through it, to be honest. This two-wheel drive tractor pulling this brush hog. And it was pretty wet over on the other side there. I thought I was going to get it stuck just turning around. As you can see, there is a lot of brush in here. There's some thistles up here. I'll show you those in just a few minutes. You can see those as we go by. I've been in the past, when we get good rains, I'll wade through the weeds and stuff, and I'll actually pull them thistles right out of the ground, roots and all. And that's how I've been taking care of them. This year I did spray a few of them. Seen them coming up, but it was so woolly in there you couldn't see them all. The area that they're in has had problems with infestation of those bull thistles. This is them here. You can see them. They're just there in front of that hay ring. And this is some I had sprayed. And right over here, you can see some of them that got some seed heads starting to form, flowers. So the fact that I'm going to whack them off is a good thing for right now. I'll probably have to come back in here and spray them. And as we get into the last couple of paddocks, you can see here, this is where the cows wintered. There is some areas where the grass is pretty thick. I rolled out bales of hay in here, probably fed at least 20 bales. So it should be pretty fertile in some areas. Overall, it's pretty good stand of grass. It could be a little thicker, but this used to be all hay, so it's not like pasture grass. So this is paddock 2D. The cows just left here this morning. I had clipped this 2 days ago. You can see they've got some of the grass ate down pretty well to the ground, but a lot of it's still standing. Over here, still a lot there. It's probably not their favorite grass. A lot of hop clover in here. And there's some red clover, a little bit of white clover, just an all-around mix. But they won't come back in here for about, close to a month. Well, I hope you liked our video. This is the first time we mowed this early in the year. Normally we do it in July. But I wanted to see if we knocked off these seed heads a little bit, if the grass would grow back for us.